there's rumored to be plenty of other Marvel video games in development. Multiple Guardians games were apparently something that was happening. Apparently, Marvel Studios and Marvel Games and stuff are looking at the future of Marvel games as very profitable, as Spider-Man has shown. And there's been rumors that they are licensing out to other developers. So, what do you guys think, and what do you want to see from the Marvel Games division? Because let's be real. In 10 years from now, they could be where Marvel Studios is at, and Marvel Games could be synonymous with, like, dude, that's AAA. That's one of the best games this year coming out. So, I think they have that ability. I personally, I need a... slight spoiler alert, I've been playing it for review for members and a Let's Play. I need Punisher, because I've been replaying that Xbox and PS2 game, and that game is tremendous. Like... You feel like Frank Castle in the Marvel Universe, underpowered and just doing what Frank Castle does the entire time, and it is great. And I would love to see a Punisher, like, just give me a very small section of New York. Like, give me, I don't know, like Chelsea, New York, or Manhattan, or like just a divided part of it, like Brooklyn or something, and make it detailed interiors, and make me, like, open world Punisher, stalk people, kind of that whole, like the Lord of the Rings games, where if I take somebody down, I start to, fix that turf, but if they take me down, they become an overlord. Something like that, I think, with the Punisher is... It would just be tremendous, because that character doesn't even need, like, the biggest, highest budget, It's goddamn Frank Castle. Like, come on, like, it's a shooter. So, third-person Punisher game is kind of, like, what I want. Mitch, what would you say? What do you think they would develop, and what do you want?
I mean, what I think they'll develop is anything that's coming out. I think you're going to have, like, a synergy like you do in the comics. So, like, anything they announce for, like, Phase 5, you'll get a game from that, but I could be entirely wrong. I kind of want an Iron Man game. We've never had a good one.
You're getting the VR game?
I want an Iron Man game. We've never had a good one.
Well,
the only problem I have is, like, how do you do it? Like,
It's really hard because no one's been able to get flying controls down
other
correctly.
than Anthem. I will agree. Anthem's the only one, I think. Like, that feels like Iron Man.
You can take the feel of the Anthem, like, just the way it moves. I know it's a bit clunky, but the way it moves.
It's a bit clunky, but when you get used to it, you can do some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like, just take that and tweak it, and you've got a really good base for it. It's just like, how big's the world going to be in an Iron Man game? I don't know. Would you fly? You've got to be fairly big.
I mean, would you have to, like, let's say, because it's Iron Man, right? And we've seen what they said they can do with next-gen consoles. Like, Mark Cerny talked about it with PlayStation, the way they're able to load from the hard drive now. He said worlds up to 8 to 10 times the size of Marvel's Spider-Man can be loaded in an instant. So, like,
then give me the entire state of California.
I was going to say, you could feasibly be like, you know what? Here's majority of all of New York and Jersey and it's Iron Man. Like, I think that's kind of enough to make you Iron Man and make it feel good, and then you kind of pepper on some, like, things to do around the city, some big villains to fight it. Like, I think Iron Man would honestly be... I actually can't believe we don't have a good Iron Man game. That's kind of like...
It's like, put in, like, the Mandarin, put in Ezekiel Stane, like, give me the Living Laser and all that. Like, mix the villains up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can sit there with that, actually add some of the other people that we haven't seen in a while, because, like, if you're going to place it in New York, you can't not have some of the other people. Like, now that they have Fantastic Four back, you can pop them in there. You can do... Not like the level of the Marvel's Avengers game, that they're not all teaming up, but you can still go and be able to help them, like help Banner, things like that. Like, I think it would actually be really cool being able to do it as Iron Man, especially.
That was, like, honestly, the one part I hated about Marvel's Spider-Man is the fact that the Sanctum is right there. And, like, the back, like, not the backstory, but the Avengers Tower, and they're just not there. And it kind of felt empty, and it's like, I know the sequel
so
they're saying...
It feels like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Like, here's a hint of something else, but no one else is there. It's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's like, I want more of that, like, I think Iron Man would honestly... that's got to be something to... I mean, it was rumored that Microsoft might have an exclusive on that for Series X, so...
Well, and then if you think about it, like, Iron Man again... just like he helped rebirth the Marvel Cinematic Universe, allow him to be the one who kind of helps push Marvel's video games, just like Spider-Man did, into the correct direction.
I mean, assuming that maybe Iron Man plays really good in that Avengers game, maybe from that they'll be like, wow, people really do want a solo Iron Man. Okay, let's do this, you know?
Like, as long as you can like customize the suit as well fully, like not just like here's a skin, here's a suit we've made. You know, this is from the movie. It's like, no, don't give me that. Let me mix and match my own stuff,
like Armor Core style. You know,
Man, do you know how much horror you would get from that?
Yes, that's exactly what I want.
You want the suits going around. Okay.
Yes.
He wants to create his Iron Legion of ridiculousness.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Let me have a horde of armors.
Yes.
Just literally make the inventory the horde of armor and let me have whatever I want in there.
Honestly, and you know what? This game could be like $60. We'll never release paid for content, but if you want this suit from the movie or this comic suit, okay, yeah, you can fly around and do all these challenges during this week. Or just give us $2 and it goes into your armor and you get all the pieces. Like, man, I'm gonna pay you $100 just to get them all. I'm telling you right now.
Right, he's like, it's a little quick pitch. The whole thing is based around Ultron. Ultron's pulling the strings. It's Iron Man. Why wouldn't he be? Right. The final boss, like fight, is you have to use every armor you've made in the game. You kind of make it like the end of Iron Man 3 with the House Party Protocol.
Yeah.
But like as Ultron changes, the suit's got to change, and you got to mix and match it. That breaks. That's what I do.
That'd be so awesome.
It would never happen, but I can dream it.
Well, imagine though if it was something like that. You don't have to then have it such a massive scale of
so you can make
everything you need, because if you're constantly like, say it's like Skyrim, you go and you fight something, your armor's broken, you have to go fix it. So if you sit there and you build it like that, like he has to go fix it, he has to upgrade, he has to do the science stuff. Like, you could have very different aspects of different types of video games in this one game. That'll make it so that it kind of pleases everybody.
It'd be nice.
Slightly base it off the Age of Ultron event, but do what the movie did and make it nothing like Age of Ultron. Like use the time travel aspect as a reason why he has nothing. Yeah. And then you got that off. Because like Iron Man's kind of like the Superman game problem. It's like, well, what are you going to do when you can do absolutely everything?
Exactly.
So, I haven't got a suit, but I can use this one core, and this core can does literally everything. Like, how do we take flying away from Iron Man?
Right. Yeah, so start it off from the basics, it's all ripped away, and then build it up. Yeah, that'd be good.
So, like, his suit got broken, and he's now in a child's closet.
Yeah, actually,
or garage, I mean.
Yeah. I was going to say closet. Let's not go that far.
Yeah. Well, she ain't Bryan Singer. Come on.
Oh.
Anyways, Tristan, what's your Marvel dream project video game?
It's like I would want like a Black Panther one.
Oh, that's my second up. That's literally my number 2.
Because that's one of the ones I really wanted to do. Just out of the blue, because they have like a lot of games that they wanted to do, especially like if people don't know, they had like that canceled was it the Daredevil game that was heavily inspired by Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
And even now from like the Guardians of the Galaxy rumored game was potentially by Eidos Montreal, from the Deus Ex and Tomb Raider guys, because it was
a good team.
It's supposed to say, like, the rumor was that it was going to be like a swashbuckling Uncharted type of single player game for the Guardians of the Galaxy, which it'd be pretty cool, just if they can keep the story consistent.
Yeah,
because from the most infamous one for like the first Tomb Raider reboot was where Laura doesn't want to kill anybody, kills the first person, and she can go on a murdering.
Then you literally become
a second thought.
Yeah, you're literally Nathan Drake. Then be like, genocide. You're like, oh god, like, what have you become?
Yeah, because like she throws up after she kills the first person, and then after that she's just killing everyone and everything in her path.
Well, I also don't understand, like, Black Panther kind of gives you a cyberpunk look to Wakanda, right? Like,
yeah. That'd be actually,
but I think Black Panther's got the same problem as Iron Man. Like, that suit is so overpowered. What exactly do you do?
Yeah, you would have to start T'Challa from like the beginning, where it's, the bare minimum basic armor that you can barely do. Because if you give it to him right away, he's just an unstoppable tank.
So
guys, that's why you have to have him become the Black Panther.
I have the perfect story. You start the game off as T'Challa the King. Then, out of nowhere, a mysterious person comes in and takes over the kingdom and unpowers you. So you have to build up through the city in secret, doing missions to build up your power and become the Black Panther. Not like the movie, though. That's not what I'm saying. It's going to be slightly different. It's going to be slightly different because you're playing it this time. So you have to go recruit people like Man-Ape to help you. Okay, you see?
That'd be pretty cool, though.
I mean, to be fair, you could make that like Breath of the Wild and just have it stupidly open.
Oh my god, that would be so good.
I mean, was it? Is it? That's not Rise of the Tomb Raider. The last one, the Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That's what they had. They had the semi-open world environment and it was actually pretty cool because you could see some of the takedowns she could do if they modeled up.
Here's a question, right? Do they have to be all open world?
No,
they don't.
So
I have a game.
Kind of make it like God of War, where it's more linear.
It's like God of War or like Uncharted 4, where it's not open world, but it's tiered.
You just got like big level.
Yeah, big tiered level. So there's not so much you can go everywhere as that is. It's more detailed, so there's more places you can go off into instead of just going from
that's exactly what I was saying with my Punisher game. Like smaller contained environments, but you get to kind of explore
So I think that's probably the biggest problem with superhero games. Everyone wants an open world, and it's like, let's not.
Not everything. No, I know Shay was trying to. What's your dream Black Cat game?
You son of a gun! It is Sly Cooper, Black Cat.
So you mean Splinter Cell with Felicia?
Kind of.
Okay.
No.
Someone must have made that model line already.
If you stop and you think about it, so if you do it like the how Sly Cooper is, Felicia, it's obviously Sly. She doesn't need to have a team, but she could potentially, that her team could be the others that are around. So almost like how she was in the Marvel Spider-Man, but you're actually playing as her. And Spider-Man is just like this random, he pops up here and there. So say if you set off an alarm, he'll come, and just kind of like how the Fox in that game does the same thing. Like, she'll sit there and she'll be at random places, so if you trigger something, she'll be there. So kind of like have Spider-Man like that.
Well, I mean, they could just make a spin-off of Marvel Spider-Man based on that character. And, you do heists. And honestly, I think that's kind of a thing we need, is like we were saying right before this, you don't need everything to be open world, but smaller things, more scripted, not everything has to be 40 hours. Like, I hate that. I hate that people are like, well, this game's not 30 hours long, so I'm not going to get it. I'm like, there's something to say about a 8-hour structured video game that's very well told, and you can really, absorb the story in a unique way.
I love the indie games like Journey and Flow and things like that, because you can play them and...
I was going to say, it's just people have this skewed way of the monetary value of the game equals the experience that you can get from a game, when people are completely different across the board.
I think it's also a case of time versus money.
Yeah.
Like you $60 or £60, wherever you are, over 40 hours is a lot more value for money than over 8.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of weird because some people out of that 60, you get 8 to 12 hours, and you're satisfied, and another person gets the same deal, and they feel like they're ripped off.
Now,
I also think it's single player versus multiplayer.
Yeah.
If you've got multiplayer, a short campaign is more justifiable because you've got the replay value. Whereas if it's single player, it's like, well, what am I doing? No.
And also, there's this whole when you look at video games, right, and how long they last and how long a game can run, completion rates on video games are not high. No. Marvel Spider-Man, for example, that's one of the rare games to hit a completion of double digit. So they've sold 20 million copies. Out of that, they're one of the rare percentages that passed more than 10% of people that play the game beat it. You know how hard that is to do in a game? So that's Like, a lot of video games, even like Gears of War, the completion rate on the first Gears of War was less than like 9%. And that's a 6-hour game.
Yeah, let's take this in perspective. One of the best RPGs of all time, Persona 5. Everyone says it's great and it's awesome. If you check the completion rating, it's like 8 to 7%.
I've never beat
that
it.
game's 100 hours long.
Yeah, I know, but that's what people are saying. It's like I want I want the hours for my money, and then you go and check the completion rating, it's like 7 to 8%.
Right.
It's very much a sweet spot with me, because people look at 100 hours and be like, oh no, I'll never finish that. People look at 40 hours like, oh, I can finish that, and it's like 8 hours. Well, that's too short.
Yeah,
it's definitely like a sweet spot.
It really is, though, based on people's like perception. Like, we have a friend will not buy a game, or if they do, even if they don't like the game, they have to complete it because that's how they mentally feel. Like, I can get my money's worth. I have to platinum this game.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's no.
Yep. No, that's...
I feel like you just don't enjoy games at that point. You're just, you feel like you wasted your money if you didn't.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the person. I'm okay with games that are short. I'm okay with games that are longer.
As long as the game is good, it will keep me interested.
Exactly.
That's kind of where I come at it from. Like, I honestly don't care what genre it is. I've played football games. Like, I don't even watch football or care, but I'm like, oh man, the mechanics are good. I'm kind of enjoying this. All right, I'm gonna play football. Like, all right, you know.
That's how we got to start liking the Packers.
Yeah, I was like, huh, this is kind of good. And then I was like, I'm a Packers fan now because they were the first ones I played in like 2K1 on Dreamcast. That was the system, kids. The Dreamcast. Go look that up. So yeah, that's some of the games we would want. As always, you guys let us know, your dream video game based on Marvel, and maybe
I'll tell you what would be good actually, like a Monster Hunter Midnight Suns sort of mashup.
That would be good.
Like Elsa Bloodstone in there, bit of Blade.
She's playable in Ultimate Alliance. She's actually part of my crew. She's a mainstay.
Isn't that new game is coming out pretty soon, where it's co-op 3 people and like humans go to this another world, another planet, and then there is like arcane alien magic and all this other crap.
Oh yeah, that's the who's making that game? We were talking about it the other week.
Yeah, we were.
It's like so like the gameplay mechanics is so much like
it's like every game mashed into one, like something stupid, something generic. Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently it's actually pretty good from what the press has been playing.
Yeah,
so.
It sounds like it. So yeah, let us know. I believe there's also a question about this for DC, so we'll do that in a different topic, so we're not too video game heavy, so we'll be back on that. So thank you for taking the time to watch that video. If you guys would like more content that we offer here for channel members, which you guys can check out in the little join button down below, we do offer additional content, such as exclusive podcasts and topic discussions, our gaming podcast, Star Wars TV series reviews, Marvel show reviews, DC Universe, and CW reviews. We offer personal vlogs, backlog reviews of TV shows and movies, video game topics, and Q&As. And of course, in one of our best tiers, we offer audio commentaries on TV shows and movies, along with a bunch of other stuff you guys can check out just by clicking that join button and seeing what is on offer.